Another issue that I think the reason why people are not involved is because of the limited incomes. I see a lot of low incomes here on the reservation, and it's very hard to get equipment like to plow and then get started, and they don't know where to turn to, and they need help with those things. Maybe if you have more trainings, and then maybe if you know some, um, bring us some ideas of how we can get assistance from different things to start up farming, ranching. Maybe that way they'll be more interested in it, and maybe start off with a little farming. Then from there it'll grow. So income is very limited out here.
We offer workshops through the program every month, someplace on the Western Navajo Nation, so that your local chapter should have at least one every quarter, and some chapters like Talani Lake have almost one a month. Al, I know you've attended a lot of these. Could you talk a little bit? I mean, we've had soil fertility workshops, and we've had planting workshops and irrigation workshops. Could you address a little bit? Have they been helpful to you? Have you learned some things that help you with your farming?
Yeah, I've been picking up quite a bit of information from these workshops, and been learning to network with other farmers, and picking up other useful tips and uh, methods from other farmers, things to look out for, and how to correct some problems that we would have out in the fields.
I want to make sure we hit the other concerns. You mentioned concerns about weeds, cattails in the ponds, and Russian olive also, how invasive they are and taking up a lot of your water. I'll simply mention and hopefully stir some comments here that one of the concepts of permaculture that we teach in some of our workshops is to look at the problem as a solution. And I understand that cattail actually has some medicinal values, and it also could be used in some crafts. And I wonder if they couldn't actually be harvested as an income opportunity, if they could be put into a value-added product. I know less about Russian olive, but certainly I know that we could use it for firewood. You can use the leaves as part of composting to add organic matter. And if they keep growing up, great. You just have more organic matter to put into your soil to grow soil. Anyone else have ideas on how we might address some of these invasive, the tamarisk, and some of the other weed problems? I have a dream about tamarisk that, in fact, it can be used for crafts, for fencing, for blinds. You can take those new sprouts, those long, skinny red weeds that are actually quite beautiful, the stems, and if we harvest them at 3-foot or 6-foot lengths, can actually be woven, if we could find an old loom, could be woven into blinds or into fencing. And then the other woody parts we could grind up and use to make biochar, again, to add to our soil as a soil additive. It's part of that terra firma that they found in the Amazon that makes the Amazon soil so rich, is actually char that some of the indigenous peoples in the Amazon made to add to the soils in order to make some of those soils rich. So I can see tamarisk, as opposed to a problem, can be part of the solution to help us build stronger soils. Has anyone else been able to work with their weed or their invasive population in a different way? How about as a windbreak? If you don't already have a windbreak, the Russian olive or the tamarisk, as long as they're not taking all of your water, if you've got, as in your case, an abundance of water. All right, other questions? Let's make sure that we hit all of the issues. Soil conditions. We had a wonderful workshop in Talani Lake a couple weeks ago. Would you mind commenting a little bit about what we learned about soil fertility from Don Bustos and from Kim Costillon, and how you might build your soil so you don't need to plow every year?
Okay, plenty. We had a workshop in Talani Lake a couple weeks ago, and it was about soil fertility, how to taking care of your soil. It's all about soil. How it's you can go up. You don't need to have water, and it just taking care of soil, just mulching and composting. That's the most important thing, was to take care of your soil, and that's the main part, is taking care of your soil and resting your field, and that's about it.
Evelyn, I want to address your question about limited income and concerns with equipment. We do have equipment, which when you sign up for the program, tillers, and we also have drip irrigation equipment that we can help you install as part of the program. You attend the workshops, you're eligible to receive these services. So when you signed up, you check some boxes about the different services that might be most helpful to you. Jonathan is the one in this area, and he is out there on his tractor and with his tillers and with the drip irrigation equipment. All you need to do is pick up the phone number and call the number in your brochure. Get Jonathan on the phone, and he's in the field pretty much every day helping folks out. Anyone else have ideas how we might organize small groups in your community to share equipment? Have you been able to do that in your communities? Yeah, you're really remote.
Well, in our area up there where I'm talking about in Willow Springs, we have a large area of field, and there's only the two of us, me, my husband, and I. And we just don't have the manpower to spread all the mulch, or whatever you call it, compost. We don't have the equipment to do it, so we just haven't been treating our soil. The only way that we do our reviving our soil is by not planting for a number of years, but the weeds grow. So we need somebody to come and plow or cultivate.
Yeah, if you strip those Russian olives of some of their leaves and use that organic material to add to your soil, I understand if you add mulching, 4 to 6 inches of mulch, it will keep the weeds down, and you'll be weeding less. You had that experience in some of our community gardens? Yeah, good. All right, I want to make sure we hit at least one of the other questions. The second question is, what are the strengths of this program? What's working in terms of the resources, the organization, the people, the facilities, the programs that we are offering? What is working that maybe we can continue to do more of?
I like this idea of bringing outside information in. Thinking about what she had said about low income, about, like he was talking about a couple of weeks ago, that it was a really good presentation about a man that came from New Mexico, and he only had 3 acres of land, and he was making $130,000 a year on 3 acres of land farming. And I thought, well, if all the Navajos here and everybody, a lot of these people, they say, oh, I got 2 acres, 3 acres. I said, shoot, man, we have a lot of rich Navajos running around here. But we need to get out there and learn what we're doing. We're not doing what he's doing, because obviously he's doing something right. So that was one of the things that really amazed me, was this individual making a lot of money off 3 acres. And another thing that he brought out was that as an individual, even myself, because I talked to him afterwards, that just me, myself, my own front yard, I'm able to get a $15,000 grant. I just need to apply for it. Anybody is. So even you are. But, and he's on the grant review committee or board or whatever, and he'll willing to help you. And I'm sure Mr. Piper here has that information to make contact with him. But he'll show you how to get your hands on that money. But that was one of the things that I've learned, that there's funding out there available as for your own personal use to buy equipment. And I'm sure if a couple families get together, maybe 2, 3, to apply and buy this equipment, that y'all could use it as the 2, 3 families work together to get. So anyway, all this, after all that and the drive home, all these ideas and light bulbs were coming on as I was going home. So, but what's good is that we're bringing a lot of outside resources in here, and the few of us that are the lucky ones that are able to soak it up and learn a lot of information. So right now it's my job. In fact, I'm kind of doing it with you right now, sharing this information with you, because that's $15,000 that could go in your pocket. And he said you could do whatever you want with it. I mean, as long as you spend it on the farm, buy water tanks and irrigation equipment and stuff like that, whatever, however you want to use it for your for your own farm. But these people have that information, and to have contact with an individual like that. So but that's one thing for me personally. I was really amazed that there are people out there that are able to benefit with what little they have. But here we are, we got all this, and we're not even doing anything about it. When we toured Loop Farms, yeah, there are 32 families, but I noticed there was still a lot of extra farms that nobody was using, that I could have at least 3 more of those farms, 3 acres right there, and I could have set out there on 130,000. So, but it's pretty good.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else comments? What's good? What's working with this program? What are some other resources that we should continue to do?
Just being on the program, I've realized that the high points of this is keeping your kids out of trouble, because it keeps my kids home with me, and it keeps them out of trouble, keeps them focused, keeps them looking forward to how their crops are going to be. Because when they were first planting, they were like, when are they going to grow? When are they going to grow? Now they're like as tall as I am, the crops are, and they're kind of like, wow, we did all this hard work. And it's hard, but if you are that role model and you show your kids and you're positive about it, I think that if your kids can do it, maybe the kids in the schools can do it. So what I was thinking of doing this school year was I was going to let the boarding school know, and maybe they have these little open fields in the back that they could probably have a couple classrooms plant and see what they can what they can offer to their classrooms. Maybe have snacks in their classrooms as, watermelon and stuff like that for next year. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can talk to the principal, and I'd like to get with you, if you could talk to Mr. Coughlin and see if we could get maybe you guys to come, again, recruitment, come to the boarding school and see what you have to offer to the kids. Because if you get these kids involved, then you're for sure to have the parents involved. So that's what I think maybe we can do.